So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Manchester University. I'm going to be talking about like accommodation, like how accommodation is in Manchester. I personally did not stay accommodation, I commuted, but I researched about all the accommodations online, and I asked a few mates about their experience because some of them lived in accommodation and therefore they could give their personal experience. Also, I'm going to put some stuff. I'll be talking about the university in general, like the teaching, the cost, timestamps in the description below, so you can skip to like the parts that are relevant. So if you want to watch this video because you're interested in about accommodation, then just skip to that part. So yeah, further not, let's get started with this video. I have a rainbow on my face, that's so cool. Yeah, if I'm looking down and stuff, because I made like a list of what I'm going to talk about, because obviously I can't think of it on top of my head. I think most of this video will focus on like accommodation, not too much specifically about my course. I'm doing optometry, but if you want a separate video on that, make sure to comment down below and I'll talk all about optometry, and like if you have any questions about it, I'll answer them. I'll try my best. But for this video, it's just going to be like the university as a whole and accommodation. I'm also going to be talking about transport. Accommodation, you need to like figure out what type of accommodation you actually want. Do you want an ensuite, like your own bathroom? If you're okay with sharing with other people like the bathroom, then I suggest getting a shared bathroom because it's cheaper. You usually share it between 4 people, so there's 8, I think there's 8 people in a block, and there's 2 toilets and 2 showers. You won't ever have to worry about the bathroom being occupied because it's only 4 people sharing 1 toilet and 1 shower. If you choose the shared bathroom option, you're more likely to save money. So I think it's roughly about 30 quid, but it can vary depending on the location. I'll average about 30 quid you'll save. It could be more, it could be less, but if you want to save money, then definitely go for shared bathroom. Don't worry about the mess and stuff. I think it's alright. From other people, they found it alright, so it's not the worst thing in the world. And if you want to save money, the shared bathroom is the way to go. So obviously ensuite, self-explanatory, means that you have your own bathroom in your room. So you have a room, your room, and there's another room leading to a bathroom inside the room, if you get me. You'll know. If you prefer your own bathroom, your own stuff, your own space, then get ensuite. If it was me and I lived in accommodation, I'd probably pay the extra, go for an ensuite. Even though accommodation is expensive, but I'd still go for the ensuite because like I like having my own stuff and like my own space. I don't know, I just like having my own bathroom. If you're on a tight budget and stuff and uni is already expensive, go for the shared bathroom. There's nothing wrong with it. Right, so next you want to decide if you want to go for self-catered or catered. So one of my mates called Taz, so shout out to Taz, he lived in Home Hall at Victoria Park, and he chose the catered option. So for his breakfast it was 7:30 till 9:30 AM, so it was like a 2-hour slot, and for dinner it was 5:15 to 7 PM. If you're worried about like having time to cook meals and stuff like that, I think catered is the best option for you. It's more expensive obviously, but I mean you get your meals provided and you don't need to stress about what you're having for dinner. It's all there for you. There's also different options, vegan, vegetarian, halal options, and also it's really good in the social aspect as well, because you and your flatmates all eat together in the same dinner hall and you can just chat and just talk about your day, and yeah, it's cool. You have company. So if you're really scared about suffering from loneliness and stuff like that, I think catered is really good because you can make new friends, you can chat and have dinner with someone else. Like, it's company. They're like family, you know what I mean? They're gonna be your family anyway. So yeah, I think catered, to be honest, in my opinion, I think catered is kind of good, to be honest, because you get to like mingle with other people. The social aspect is good, but obviously the bad things about catered is they're slightly expensive. You have allocated time frames to eat. If you miss it, you miss it. You don't have breakfast. So yeah, so the timing wise is kind of hard because for like courses like nursing and stuff, they have placements and stuff, so it won't like fit around the schedule. Get your lunch provided to you, so it's breakfast and dinner. That's it. For lunch you have to pay for it yourself. I don't know, get a sandwich from Sainsbury's. Obviously for self-catered, you make your own meals, or you can just buy something from the shops, stuff like that. So if you're self-catered and stuff, I think you'll save a lot more money because it works out cheaper, to be honest. And if you like making your own food and knowing what you're cooking, stuff like that, then I think self-catered is really good for you. Also, I think self-catered does add to the uni experience because you learn how to cook, you make your own food, and you just become more independent and more reliant on yourself, if you get me. So if you want to save money, I suggest self-catered is the best option. So yeah, when you think about the contract, so there's 41-week contract, which is like more suitable towards undergrads, and there's a 52-week, is it 52? No, 51-week contract for, and that's like more suited towards postgrads. There is some like accommodations that offer 42 weeks, but that's across some of them. Mostly they're 41 weeks or either 51 weeks. Obviously get the 41 week one if you're undergrad, because like why would you get the 51 week? You're not going to be in uni for that long, and plus the 41 week contract will just finish like 2 weeks after the exam, 1 or 2 weeks after the exam, so it's all right. And if you get the 51 week, you're just going to waste money because you're not gonna live in accommodation for no reason. You want to go home after you finish your exams, you know what I mean? 41 weeks for undergrads and 51 weeks, well, postgrad. So now I need water because this is. So now I'm gonna move on to like types of campuses. The 3 main campuses at Manchester University. So there's Fallowfield, there's Victoria Park, and there's City. So I'll talk about Fallowfield. So Fallowfield is like more social. There's plenty of bars and socials on. So it's proper social, so it's more for the type who likes to party, I guess, and have a bit of fun. Proper student community feel there. It's mostly comprised of like younger students, like undergrads, the younger demographic basically. Not a lot of postgrads, I believe, but I might be wrong. Yeah, I think it's mostly like younger students. Campus, I don't think it's really suited for like engineering, business, science people, because it's a bit far from North Campus. But if you really like it, then there's always buses and stuff. Just cop a bus pass and you'll be good to go. It's alright. It's alright if you like Fallowfield, because you can have a bus pass. But from North Campus to Fallowfield is like a 10 to 20 minute bus ride, I think. Might be wrong, but correct me if I'm wrong. But there's also frequent buses to the city centre, so you can go shopping and have a good time with your mate. The Armitage Sports Centre is close by, so if you're into sports, good for you. There's lots of shops and takeaways around, lots of supermarkets. Quite distant from the actual university main campus. From the University Place building, it's like a 35-minute walk, give or take, depending on how fast you walk. There's 35 minutes average. There's always buses again, so it doesn't matter if you really like the campus. The bus can be quite packed from Fallowfield, and there's usually a bus queue. So now I'm going to be talking about the halls of residence within Fallowfield. The 7 halls of residence in total: Ashburn Hall, Oak House, Owens House, Richmond Park, Chevian House, I don't know how to say that, Unsworth Park, and Bolton Hall. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Can't speak properly, you know. Now I'll talk about the pricing of the halls of residence. So in Ashburn Hall, it ranges from 141 to 149 pounds. So in Ashburn Hall, it's only catered and shared bathroom. Oak House, it ranges from 102 pounds to 115 pounds. The reason why it's so cheap is because you have to share bathrooms, but it's self-catered, by the way. So Owens Park is catered and shared bathroom, that is 149 pounds. Richmond Park is self-catered and ensuite, and it's 145 pounds, but it's in high demand, so apply early as soon as possible. So Chevian's House is self-catered and ensuite, that's 146 pounds, so £1 more, and that's in high demand as well, so cop it before it's gone. Unsworth Park is self-catered and ensuite, it's 152 pounds. That's a 42-week contract instead of the normal usual 41-week contract, and that's in high demand as well, so copy. I don't know if I'm saying this right, so Woolton Hall or Wootton Hall. So that's catered for, and you get to choose if you want an ensuite or shared bathroom. On a shared bathroom is slightly cheaper, obviously 149 pounds, but if you want an ensuite, it's going to be 187 pounds. Quite pricey, but yeah. The halls of residence, which is the cheapest in Fallowfield, is Oak House, but bear in mind that's because of the shared bathroom. And the most expensive is obviously Wootton Hall. That's if you get the ensuite version instead of the shared bathroom. Now I'm going to move on to Victoria Park. I think this is one of the most, I think Fallowfield and Victoria Park are the most like popular options for undergrad students. City is mostly targeted towards postgraduates, to be honest. So Victoria Park is between City campus and Fallowfield. It's only a 15-minute walk to the main campus, which is closer than Fallowfield. It's right next to Rusholme, which is also known as the Curry Mile. Obviously Wimmy Road is next to it, so you know you've got all the bloody takeaways. You might get fat, you might be broke in this particular campus. That's a supermarket, so Lidl, Tesco, Sainsbury's, all that. It's definitely more quieter than like Fallowfield and City, especially Fallowfield. I think it's more quieter than that. The bus to the city is only 10 minutes, so you know, again, you can go for shopping. According to my mate, you meet different people of varying nationalities. I guess it's really good if you want to meet people of different ethnicities and want to learn about different cultures. I think Victoria Park is the perfect campus for you. Apparently, you don't get that mix of nationality and cultures in the Fallowfield campus or the City campus. That's why Victoria Park is very popular. But I don't know if this is biased or not, according to my mate's experience. Apparently, Victoria Park is one of like the underrated campuses. Like Fallowfield is way too hyped apparently. There's events organized weekly and so much socials on, especially during freshers. There was social event like every day. Home is like the main type of accommodation here, as well as Liberty Park. Apparently the halls of residences are dead according to my friend though. Don't know if it's biased. I need to shut the window because there's dogs bark. Apparently he went to like the different halls of residences in Victoria Park and he said that it's pretty dead and that home is the lit one. So there's also different activities that suit drinkers and non-drinkers, and apparently the location is really good and it's really popular, especially for undergrad students. There's 6 halls of residence in total in Victoria Park. So there's Burkhard House, I can't say it, Canterbury Cot, something like that, Dalton Ellis Home Hall, which is the main one, Liberty Park, and St Anselm Hall, and I can't say it. Burkhard House is part of Home Hall, I think it is though. I'm pretty sure it is. Burkhard House, it's 145 quid. That's self-catered and Ensuite. We can pay extra catering if you want to. So then we have Canterbury Cot, which is Ensuite and self-catered, and that's like 145 quid as well. Then we have Dalton Ellis Hall, which is catered for, and then you have the option if you want the Ensuite or a shared bathroom, and it ranges from £156 to £193 depending on like what your preferences are. Obviously it's going to be more expensive if you want Ensuite, and if you want catered it's going to be more expensive. Then we obviously have the main one, apparently the best halls of residence at Victoria Park, Home Hall, catered for and shared bathroom, and it's 156 quid. This one is like minutes away from Wimmy Road, so it's perfect if you're into food and you love food like me. Common room at Home Hall as well, and I think majority of the accommodations do have like common rooms. If you're self-catered for, you get like your own TV in your room. Liberty Park, this is in high demand, so cop it before you can. This one's 42 weeks, so again it's not the usual 41 weeks. It ranges from 147 quid to 156 quid depending if you want classic, premium or deluxe. City Park is Ensuite and self-catered. So we have say Anselm, I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's catered and shared, and that's 156 quid. So the most expensive at Victoria Park is obviously Dalton Ellis, and the cheapest is Burkhard House, which is part of Home Hall / Canterbury, I don't know how to say it, but yeah, that's the cheapest. Next on to City. So obviously City is close to the city of Manchester. Shopping, if you love shopping, then it's ideal for you. You can get the bus if you want to get there quick and you're running late, and also it's a 5-minute walk from the city centre, so that's pretty dope, you know. So if you're into more of the city vibe instead of like the suburban type areas, then City is really good for you. So at City there's mostly like international students there, and it's mostly postgrads as well. You have the student sports centre close to you and the aquatic centre, so if you're into sports, again, great for you. And the buses are really frequent as well, so short journey by buses. All the campuses, there's good like bus routes. There's buses coming every like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but Fallowfield has the busiest bus queues. There's different types of halls of residence at City. I'm not going to mention the postgrad only ones, I'll just mention the ones at undergrad and postgrad, if you get me. We have Denmark Road, Western Hall, Whitworth Park, Wright Robinson, and there's these other 2 campuses which is only for postgrads, so you can research that if you want. So Denmark Road is either, you know, the 42-week option, the 51-week option, and they're the same price, 155 quid, but obviously the 51 week is for the postgrad. Western Hall is 40 weeks, so it's the most shortest, and it's 145 quid. Oh, by the way, Denmark Road and Western Hall is self-catered and Ensuite for both of them. Whitworth Park is shared, but yeah, you have to self-cater for yourself, and it ranges between £108 to £129 for undergraduates. For postgraduates, £109 to £116. Wright Robinson is self-catered and shared bathroom. You can either share with another person in the same room, so it's like this twin bedroom thing, and it's £77 per person, but if you want to stay obviously by yourself in a room, it's £115. Cheapest one at City is Wright Robinson, the £77 one if you want to share with another person, and the most expensive is Western Hall. So yeah. So overall, I'm just going to round it up. If you want shared and catered, the cheapest is Aspen Hall in Fallowfield. So for Ensuite and self-catered, the cheapest is Orchid House / Canterbury Court in Victoria Park, I mean. And then if you want catered and Ensuite, the cheapest is Wootton Hall in Fallowfield and Dalton Ellis in Victoria Park. I hope that makes sense. Sorry if I'm talking too fast. Now I'm going to say like the accommodations that are for undergrad only accommodation and you don't really want to mingle with the postgrads, then these are the ones to go for. So Burkhard House, which is part of Home Hall, that's in obviously Victoria Park. Canterbury Court, which is in Victoria Park. Dalton Ellis Hall, Victoria Park. last but not least, St Aslam in Victoria Park. And then in Fallowfield we have Owens Park, Richmond, I can't even say that, Sheridan House, Unsworth Park. Yeah, that's all the ones in Fallowfield. And Wright Robinson is the only one in the city that compromises of undergrads. On accommodation, oh my god, this is so long. So if you want the same gender accommodation, because some people prefer to stay with the same gender, maybe because of religious reasons or because they just like staying with the same gender, like they're more comfortable. Say Anselm, I don't know how you say that, say ANSELM, that's for males only. St Gabriel's is for females only, and they're both in Victoria Park. You can go for Ashburn Hall as well, which is in Fallowfield. Mostly compromises of females though, and St Gabriel's is known for containing a lot of religious people as well. So now moving on to the next topic, which is going to be transport with buses. So you can buy a bus pass, I think from Stagecoach and like Magic Rider, stuff like that. I don't even know if they're the same company, but I can't relate on that level of like obtaining bus passes because I'm not from Manchester myself, so I had to buy a different bus pass. But if you live in accommodation and you're within Manchester, it's a specific bus pass. I think it's a yearly one or a term one. One of my friends, they go from Oldham to Manchester and they have a bus pass, and I think it's like £89. Is it £89? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know. But I checked online and the Stagecoach bus passes are like 90 quid per term, I think. But you can research it and stuff like that and you'll find all about the Stagecoach stuff. There's also a free bus, which is the 147 bus. You just need to show your uni ID. So it's free from only North Campus to main campus. If you stretch to like Piccadilly Station, you'll have to pay like £1.50 for a single ticket. And if you want to go to like Wimmy Road and stuff like that, you have to pay it as well. So main campus to North Campus, vice versa, is free to show your uni card. It comes every 10 or 15 minutes. At the start of the year when I used it, it used to come on time, but then it progressively got worse. Like it was late by like 10 minutes. It used to come like every 25 minutes. So don't always rely on that bus because most of the time it's packed, especially in the mornings if you have a 9 AM lecture and it comes late, packed, late all the time. Depends what stop you're getting it from. If you're from like the earlier stops, you'll find a seat. You'll always have someone sit next to you anyway. So yeah, that's free. That's life tip for you all. 147 bus free. If you know how to cycle, then I suggest you buy a cyclist because there's a lot of good cycle routes around Manchester, around the campus and everything. So make sure to cop a cyclist, and it's good for your health as well, exercise, and you can avoid congestion. It's just a faster way to get to buildings and stuff like that. So, and if you live in accommodation, it's really useful as well. Not for those who like commute though, because that was the point. Also there's Uber as well, which can be pricey, but good if you like traveling with mates. You can also split the cost if you're going on a night out or something. Another route is walking, but if you don't like walking like my friend Faz, then I don't know, but at least you get exercising. And there's 2 stations at Manchester. So there's Manchester Piccadilly, and there's also Oxford Road Station, which has links to like Liverpool and Leeds. I think Manchester Piccadilly is for like Preston. And lastly, there's a coach station on Charlton Street, so if you prefer to take a coach, then there's coaches. Okay, now I'm going to be talking about a bit about the uni itself. So I'll start with the courses and lecture. Phenomenal standards of teaching. They're always there to help you. The lecturers are super nice. They'll always help you if you need it. If you ask questions, they're always there. At the end of the lecture, you can wait behind, ask them questions. Don't be scared. If you're struggling on something, then I assure you that other people will be thinking the same thing. Sure, find out if they allow you asking questions during the lecture. If not, you can always ask at the end, because they always wait behind anyway, and I love them for that. And the lecturers are just phenomenal. That at Manchester they offer podcasts, so if you're ill and stuff like that and you have to obviously miss out on a lecture, you can catch up via podcast and you can watch it at different speeds, so 1.5, 2 times if you want to watch it at a faster speed. If you want to watch it at a slower speed, if you don't understand what they're saying, then there's a slower option. There's subtitles as well, you can request. The subtitles are a bit dodgy though, they're not like correct sometimes. So for Optom, all the lectures were podcasted, so that was fantastic and good, because say if you did go to a lecture and you're tired and you didn't really absorb the information, then you could always go back to the podcast and rewatch it and rewatch at your own time in it and just chill out. I'm so grateful for podcasts, man. Without them I'd be lost. Also some of my lecturers offered additional contact hours, so you could see them one-to-one and ask them specific questions if you didn't understand anything, which was fantastic. I think the teaching is just phenomenal. Lecturers are super nice, and in general Manchester is just a really nice university. I wasn't so keen on it at the start, and I slowly like got into it more. I just love it so much, and the buildings are so nice. Some of the buildings are super like old-fashioned and vintage, and I just love the campus, and I've just fell in love with it. I've grown to fall in love with Manchester Uni. Originally, I liked Leeds Uni. Like, it looked really nice and stuff. But obviously, it didn't offer my car Leeds because of the white buildings. But you know what? Manchester's better than Leeds. I'm just saying. I rate it so much. Like, it's so pretty. So for my course, it was 20 hours contact time per week. So from my mates' perspectives, they said that the lecturers were really good. So again, it backs up my statement. They're always there if needed. And for Optom, the class sizes were really small. For all of our lectures, it's just optometry. But for one, it was combined with audiology. But yeah, class size is really small, which is really good because you can develop stronger relationships with the students as well as the lecturers, so that's good. One bad thing about the lectures and the learning at Manchester United, right, Manchester Uni, is that there's a lot of strikes going on, which did affect our learning kind of, because it meant that we couldn't attend the lectures obviously because there's strikes going on. But to compromise, there was podcasts, so that was all right. Imagine if there was no podcasts, I'd actually die. Frequent meetings with your tutor as well. Well, for my class there was like one-to-one meetings, so you can like tell them if you're struggling on anything. My tutor was absolutely phenomenal. If you're like stressed about personal issues, like finance, stuff like that, they'll always be willing to help you and direct you to the right kind of support. So make sure if you're struggling on anything, just talk to your tutor. They're always there and they care about you, and they're your tutor, man. Just speak to them and they'll always be there for you, you know what I mean? If you can't speak to your mates, you can speak to your tutor. Anything like that, if you're struggling with mental health issues as well, you can speak to them and they'll point you to a suitable person that deals with them kind of situations. For me, there was past sessions, which was really useful. It allowed me to interact with the second year. I don't know if they do it with other courses. Super nice and super friendly. The emailing system at Manchester is really good as well, because they send you regular emails like from the career service, so you know what's happening, like research that's happening as well. They'll email you and keep you up to date on what's happening around the university, so that's great. And yeah, okay, the university facilities are really good. Like there are some odd buildings that do need a bit of refurbishment, a bit worn down, but majority of the buildings are really nice. I love the Alan Gilbert building, I love it so much. And the main library is a bit dead, but it's really spacious and big, so yeah, and it's just a nice vibe. And yeah, all in all, it's good. The lecture theatres are really modern and nice, although some lecture theatres do need an upgrade, but majority of them are really nice and modern and fantastic, phenomenal. I love all the people there that I've met and stuff. I'm so grateful for everything, and it's such a nice uni. Thinking about going to Manchester, then definitely go. Like, it's so phenomenal. The community is so nice, and it's just like a vibrant city, and if you're into that city life, is for you. Even if you commute, like, you won't even miss out. A bit about student union. So there's a lot of food places within the student union. You can get like hot meals, tacos, drinks, meal deals, everything. There's prayer rooms as well upstairs. Really nice. I love the atmosphere as well. You can just chill out with your friends. Even take your own lunch. If you live in accommodation, you can take a packed lunch. Even if you commute, you can take a packed lunch as well, and it's just nice. But I would say that the pricing for the food at student union is pretty expensive. Rip off. It's just a rip-off. Rather go like Morrison's for a meal deal. If you're going to Manchester Uni, make sure you get the Morrison's meal deal. It's so nice. Like, it's worth it for £3. You can get like a plastic container thing and fill it with so much pasta and like salad and everything nice, and wedges. You can get wedges in the meal deal and the massive Red Bull. So yeah, make sure to go Morrison's for the meal deal. I won't recommend getting food that often from student union if you're broke, because it's kind of expensive. So there's other places around anyway. There's like Lidl, there's Sainsbury's, there's Morrison's, there's Tesco, so get the meal deal from there. I haven't really had any food from the student union, which is quite sad. I was actually planning on having food from there, but unfortunately because of coronavirus, the university has shut down. I can't believe it. I'm actually quite sad, you know. All in all, my opinion on Manchester is that it's a fantastic university. The teaching is like up there, really good. Everyone's super nice, especially my course. Like, everyone I met is so nice and so friendly and welcoming, and like we just get along, and I just like that. I made myself a coffee whilst I was waiting for it to charge for like 5 minutes. During freshers, there's so much events going on, so much freebies. There's mosques, there's churches. Even though I don't live in accommodation and that, I absolutely love it. I feel like I'm part of their culture, and I don't know, I just love the vibes of Manchester, and I love everyone. And there's so much amazing people that you'll meet. If you have any questions and stuff, make sure to comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And if you want a like separate video on like all about optometry and how I found first year, even though like half of the year we're not even there anymore. It's a bit sad, you know. The only thing I miss about uni is the food places, the cute buildings, and my friends. It's a bit sad, but you know, that's life. I'm gonna cry, you know. because it's over already, but it's getting depressing. I need to stop. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like, comment and subscribe if you want to. Enjoy my coffee and watch Teen Wolf now. Bye guys, hope you all have an amazing day and enjoy quarantine. Make sure you do like productive stuff as well. No need to if you don't want to, you can just lie in bed all day like me.